Come rise with Jay. Ooh, it's Monday morning, honey. Gonna wait for 1,000 people to enter the building. Yes, I got to get back working out, okay? Relax. Come on into the building, y'all. You are welcome in this place. Okay. Okay, so we have 1,000 likes in the building and 1,000 people in the room. Hello, whoever you are. Thank you for being the first. You are the first, honey. Thank you for coming into the room. I appreciate you. Okay, so let me put a real quick disclaimer in here. No shade. Okay. The curlers are the smoke from the curler. See, curling your hair is not good. It's just not good. But anyway, I want a disclaimer real quick. So, I want to talk about collateral damage, meaning it's very important that you don't let nobody knock you off your square. Thank you for the 2,000 likes. Woohoo! It's Monday. Thank you. So, look, right? So I had some trolls come in the building and I proceeded, this is over the weekend, I proceeded to go ham on the trolls. Now, and then I had this other troll and I was talking about, I said something to the troll, but it has nothing to do with you guys. So when somebody is like, doing their get back at somebody, don't take it personal. Even if they say, just say, okay, I know y'all like, what the fuck is she talking about? Okay, so just say if you and another person in an argument and you say to that person, you raggedy mouth motherfucker, you know, if you, excuse my French, if you was to say that to a person, I wouldn't take that no type of way because you wasn't talking to me. Even if you said, interracial dating is amazing. It's very powerful, but that's a very unpopular opinion. Interracial dating is extremely powerful. Metaphysically, it's very powerful. You can get shit done like that, black and white. It's very, even though they're not the actual colors. So look, collateral damage. People want to take it personal when you getting back at another person or like trolling a person back. Like the girl came and trolling me, so I told her, "Look, if you wearing a wig, ma'am, do you ever don't ever come in here and troll me? Take off talking to, and then we can talk. I'm not talking to no." I'm not talking to nobody that don't like themselves like that. They can't go outside without blah blah blah. I'm losing hand back here. Y'all see that? I don't give a god. When listen, look at these arms. Sometimes I cover them, sometimes I don't. But guess what? In all actuality, I love everything about me. So, but don't take offense. And I'm not going to take offense if you tell somebody else they got grandma arms. See, when you love yourself, like nothing nobody say is going to be able to, yeah, you raggedy mouth bitch. Yes, as far as you're concerned, I do have a raggedy mouth. That's fine. I love my raggedy mouth. Am I going to get some teeth? Hell no. I don't want none. Don't need none. Love my gums. They are amazing. Okay? And so when you feel like this about yourself, what somebody says about another person, you're not going to take that personal. Because I'm never talking to somebody that didn't come from me first. So let's get that straight. Now, That being said, this is why Janice, why are you letting a troll take you off your square? I'm not. I'm just flexing, I'm exercising my get back muscle. You know, when somebody says something that tries to hurt me, just let them know, look, you can't, look, it's nothing you can say to me that's going to hurt me. And then I might say something a little, off to them, but it's all love at the end of the day. I'm not taking that exchange personal, right? Because it's all a part of the game of life, honey. And this is what I wanted to talk about. See, you got to be on a certain a certain frequency. Why are you talking black? Why am I talking black? Because I'm black. Well, I'm not really black. I'm brown. Because there is no black person on the planet right now, I don't think. But curl is, let me unplug my joint. I was going to try to, straighten my shit out, but there you go. Okay, so with all that being said, I want to talk about all right, so yeah, I do look on Facebook and I do look at a lot of posts. Now, Facebook, I'm not going to be posting on here a whole lot because I see a lot of throwed off energy, especially with a lot of people that I know listen to me. The energy be throwed off. And I'm like, well, I know my information ain't throwing nobody off because my information is you got to be on a frequency of abundance. And abundance don't have nothing to do with external things. See, when we equate abundance with external things, that's when external things will flee from you. You gotta equate abundance with a feeling that's inside. Now, that feeling that's inside is going to drive your car to your desired reality. And when you start to moving towards your desired reality, things are going to fall off. People, places, and things are going to fall off, and you're going to realize, dang, hi, Wild B79, hi, Pooh, hi, Anita. Yes, based off of life experience, Anita, yes. What you put out is what you get, right? So, kind of like we reap what we sow. We reap what we sow. Yes. And this is how this goes. Now, when you're sowing, you can't have anybody else in mind but the God within. Right? Now, when we are doing things, we always tend to do things to look a certain way to others. I'm going to tell you, when you get closer to God, the more crazy, the more imbalanced, the more mean you're going to seem to other people. And you're going to be just doing you. But you can't be worried about that. You got to be worried about you and God and getting to your desired reality. Look, the gag is this is the only way you're going to be able to really um, inject change for your family, for your surroundings, for the people around you. That's the irony of the whole thing. You're going to have to give it up to keep it. You're going to have to give up your preconceived ideas. You're going to have to understand that everything in life is love and fear. Where am I? What am I operating of? You got to actually take inventory a lot throughout the day. Okay, When I said that, was that fear or love? Am I afraid of people judging me? Is this why I made that disclaimer? Anita said the word tells us that if we seek the word of God, he will take care of everything else. Absolutely, Anita. Listen, to seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all of these things will be added unto you. All of these things. That means you got to be laser focused on you and God. And guess what? Just like with Christ, the world thought he was stalk raising mad because he was talking stuff that nobody else was talking. Right? Yes, we must stay focused on God. You got to have that laser focus on God. Right? And if you don't have that laser focus, you're going to be doing stuff that the world is doing. And you're going to be in a state of unrest and fear, just like what the rest of the world is going through. I see it all day, every day on social media, even though I really don't look at social media except for vlogging purposes and for purposes of what I'm doing right now, right? So I wanted to say, Anita, thank you so much. At the righteous will be added unto whom are called according to this purpose, even when times are hard, hurtful, and yes, even when times are hard. Listen, oh, Anita, girl, you is cooking, honey. Look, right? He says, look, listen, when times are hard, that's when you gotta dance harder. That's when you gotta know more than ever. Look, me and God have been through all this stuff. And you got to be able to see the whole picture of God. To see, look, God said, I will never leave you or forsake you, right? You got to look at the entire picture of your life, right? Yes. In times of trouble, if you on a frequency or in a mind state of doubt, that's a room you put yourself in. Doubting Thomas. That's a room you put yourself in, a frequency, a state of being, a state of unrest, right? You can have a little, don't have doubt. This is what I'm going to say. Faith is a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker because faith is going to be listen, like I said yesterday, the mirror is not going to smile before you do. Listen, God said you got to take one step. That implies you got to do one thing before I do two. Now, guess what? The good news is if you have faith, that starts the car, that starts the engine. That faith, that's going to ignite you to make a little step towards what it is that you want in this reality, right? OMG. Woo. Guys, no air. They came and fixed the air to oven. Now, the good thing about where I live at is they always come the next day. So I'm grateful about that. But they'll be here today to get this air together. So, yes, people can see the bad stuff, focus on the negative, the bad stuff, what we need to remember. It could be worse. And look at the positive stuff going on there. Anita, girlfriend, maybe one day you want to come up and talk about it, honey. Because, yes, listen, where your attention goes, the energy flows, right? If you have your mind stay on God, let me tell you something. You're going to be looking crazy to other people because there's going to be storm all around you and you're going to be dancing. People going to be like, yeah, that one right there. Yeah, something wrong with that one. Because you're going to, listen, the storms ain't going to never stop. That's the gag. But you're going to have, like the Bible say, a peace that surpasses all understanding. Listen, a peace that surpasses all understanding. Do you see that out here right now? Are people peaceful out here and living peaceful? Yeah, they are. But you have to put yourself in that area, in that space to be able to see the God in people, the peace in people. Because you're only going to see, that's the gag in life, you're only going to see what you are. You're going to be like, no, I'm a nice person, I'm a good person, I see. But life is always kicking me. It's something you're not looking at if life is always kicking you. Because guess what? Ain't nobody in this life getting no better than what the other one's getting. It's just a matter of perspective. You got to reset your mind, refocus on what's inside. It's the kingdom of heaven. It's a state. It's full of endless possibilities. It's a state of being more so than a place at this particular time. It's a state of being. And trust me, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. What is the truth? What is the truth? The truth is whatever you say the truth is, because everything outside of you is possibilities. Meaning you hold the truth. I'm talking about at your core, the God within you, the shapeless, the formless, the irresistible that we resist. You know, what I mean, the irresistible. I mean that your subconscious, the thing in the back of your mind that said, don't do that. But then we resist it and do what we know we're not supposed to do. Right? So then we get the consequences, and then we think the world is, God, don't hear our prayers. God absolutely hears you. Right? God absolutely hears you. Stuff was going on all last week. But you guys see my mindset all last week, right? You have to have that dance in the rain mentality where you kind of excited to see how God's going to fix your situation. I got a situation going on right now that I'm ecstatic about because it looks crazy. And I'm ecstatic because I already know that it might not be something that is like agreeable to my flesh, but it's going to be amazing. Right? It's going to be an amazing turnout. Right? And this has to do with because I have not been able to put down that fork. So now I'm getting, all right, let me go ahead and tell y'all. So I ain't been able to put down the fork. So y'all see my arms getting bigger. Y'all see, and when I get a certain weight, I feel it more so than the next person would feel it. But so I'm excited because I already know, because I know the patterns in my life. I know this is going to make me pay more attention to how I treat my body, how I work out. This is going to get me out the house because it's going to have me walking. It's going to have me, doing amazing stuff. In my mind, I don't feel like this particular stream was amazing. But I can say that the people that were supposed to be here is in the building, and I appreciate you very much. Oh, dang. God has a plan, and we know God has already won. Anita, you're amazing. You are amazing. Yes, God has already won. That, listen, you got to be convinced of that. Yeah, listen, you got to be convinced. Excuse me. You got to be convinced of that. That God has all, look, it's one. It's one. You see, look, you can't get nothing on earth unless it's in heaven first. Meaning, unless God has said, okay. So when you convinced of what God said He should give you the desires of your heart, I'm talking about that's really what's in your heart. I ain't talking about that goddamn extra piece of cake you want. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what you want at your core. Right? Yes. Yeah, we must know. Absolutely, Anita. Listen, you got believers, and we got those who know. We got those who believe, and we got those who know. You must know. You must, like I said last week, Anita, I said, you must be convinced. I said, no, 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 no. You gotta go deeper than that. You gotta walk in it. You have to own that God got this. You got to own it. Because if you don't own it, that means you're stealing, you're lying. Believe is to be, it's a lie. Believe is a lie. Yes, you got to know it. Right? Because I did say convinced. Right? And to be convinced is, yeah, it's subjective, but you got to it goes a step further. Yes, girl. It goes a step further than being convinced. Because, yeah, I could convince anybody of anything. But until they have experienced it and watched it for themselves and know it for themselves, what I say, it doesn't mean a hell of beans, right? So you have to actually know. You have to actually own it. Because if you don't own it, you're stealing. You're lying if you don't own it. If you don't be honest, open-minded, honest, open-minded, and willingness. That's how. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. Honest. Okay, have I seen God work in my life? Have I really seen God work in my life? The answer is yes. Open-mindedness. Okay, can I let God continue to work in my life? Should I let God? Can I learn more? Do I know everything, or can I learn more from God? Can I continue to let God direct my path? And then you have to be willing, okay, to let God GPS you through this thing and have faith. You got to know, like Anita said, you got to know. That's God. Come on, girl. OMG, yes. Anita said, we plant the seed and let God do the rest. She preaching this morning. Because yes, you plant the seed and let God do the rest. See, just like I said the other day, you make that decision. That's it. The decision, Stacy. Good morning, honey. Thank you for coming this early, girl. Because you know Facebook be, on it. I don't think they be notifying people this early, but thank you so much for coming, honey. I love you. But yes, you go ahead and you let God do the rest, right? Your decision to allow God. Because look, like they say, God is a gentleman. Like God ain't gonna force himself on nobody. God is a gentleman, right? But when you decide, okay, to trust and know that that thing is done, once you make a decision to allow God in your life and to allow God to guide you. Good morning, Latoya. Hi, sweetie. Thank you for coming. Grand Rising. Latoya and Anita is in the building. Stacy is in the building. So we got 3,000. Y'all, Latoya and Anita and Stacy. 3,000 means 3. Because what I do is I move. I see in life, right? I have become a person that has seen beyond the veil, that has actually seen life with, because I move with God, I can see the bigger picture. So I don't see 4 people in the building. I see 4,000 people in the building. I don't see 5 likes. I see 5,000 likes. Right? Oh, for real, Anita? Anita, you have been, this is Anita. Oh my goodness. Girl, look, this the thing, right? Girl, I have been, listen, you gotta understand, right? I'm filled up right now because I've been, look, complaining for months and months and months that I'm not getting people in here to go ahead and engage with me on the topic, on the conversation, on the subject matter, right? And there you are. And see, look, when I threw my hands up and said, okay, God, listen, I'm gonna look, I already know you got this. I'm not gonna, hi, Willie Bowen. I'm not going to sit here and complain about what I don't got. Guess what? The people in here are very important. Now, look, when I do my hands up and say, oh, now here, listen, so I'm sorry. I'm just so excited because I love to, I love to talk about how God is working in my life. It's something that I want to shout to the rooftop, right? Yes, all the time. Even in the times where I'm going through the phase right now with my son. uh he's, I don't know if I did something to him, but he's not really talkative a lot to me right now, right? And that like hurts my feelings a little bit. I had to disconnect from that. I'm like, God, you got this. I already know one day, prior this week, he gonna come up to me and be like, so what you doing today? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, yeah, I get on people's nerves. I don't mean to. I just want the best for myself and for my fellow man, even my children. Yes, yes, yes. I want to thank you so much for adding so much to this stream this morning. Well, I just want to thank you so much. Yes, all the praises due. God is my guide. You guys, God is my guide. Shiny girl in the building. Boo. Hi, gorgeous. Thank you for coming. Yo. Oh, and let go and let God. When you let go, it's like a recipe that God put for here for all of us. It's a recipe. Be honest that you have been going through these issues. Be honest. Be open minded to let God get this, let God get this, and be willing to let go. Willing to let go and know that it's good. It's all good. I'm gonna tell you, y'all will think I was crazy around here on stuff when I get like when my rent was behind last month, and like the day before I got a check out of nowhere and paid the rent, and then I was able to pay the rent this month and I'm not behind after having to be in 2 years in another place and only paying 2 months of rent in that 2 years. I was doing COVID, but 2 months of rent and now not behind one day on this rent. You can't tell me God ain't the bomb, right? God ain't the business. You can't tell me to doubt God. It's no, look, it would be crazy. Yes, Anita. Yes. Bills went down, credit going up. I'm like, I'm not the person to pay bills. I just paid off a phone. My son came to work with me at one time and somebody stole his phone. And so I had to pay, get it because I didn't have the cash, all the cash. So I had to make payments. That's paid off. I'm like, look, this person, God is creating a new creature, a whole new Janice. Sometimes I don't even know. I'm like, God dang, I'm unrecognizable to myself, right? And I'm like, when I question God like this. How can you be so lit? How can you be so good? You're amazing. You know you the business. I talk to God just like I'm talking to you guys right now. And you know what? God talked right back to me. God said, hi, Antoine. Thank you for coming to the stream. Hi, E is God's son. Thank you for coming to the stream. God is our protection. Yes, Stacy. God bless you and your family and everyone. E is God's son. Thank you so much. And thank you for the lights. Look, E is God's son is highly faithful to God. Highly amazing son of God. All he wants is a personal relationship with us. That's it. That's it. That's it. And anything that I put before God takes me on down through there. I'm telling you. I'm telling you because God said, look, acknowledge me in all your ways. Acknowledge me in all your ways. Come on. That means when you go somewhere, somebody need to know, oh yeah, oh, that's a God-serving woman. Right? When you acknowledge God in all your ways, that means guess what? Your light need to shine everywhere you go. And guess what? When you acknowledge God in all your ways, God will direct your path. And that's not up for debate. That's not up for debate. It ain't up for debate. Because I live it. I'm telling you. I couldn't recognize myself too. Stacy, I'm telling you, we both are, I'm telling you, unrecognizable. We both have lived 2 lives in one lifetime. It's incredible when I watch you and I remember our story. I'm like, And if we do that, just focus on, yes, come on now. Yes, absolutely. God is amazing. Amazing. And And you know what? You can't have you can have a preconceived idea of how things are going to go. But just look, you're not supposed to know everything on how stuff going to unfold or how God is going to work it out. But you're just going to have to know that it is worked out. The fun is watching God work. Let me tell you something. That's what gets me arise. When my problems hit, the first thing I say is, OMG. The second thing I say is, oh, I can't wait to see how you gonna work this one out. And then I literally get a rush. I literally get excited. Listen, this is a literal thing. And this is the formula. I'm telling you. Acknowledge God in all your ways. Understand God got this. And you won't be in a pool of those who really don't, they will say it with their mouth, but their words and actions don't say that God got this. No judgments, because only God can judge. No judgments. But I just want, you know how when you get something so good and you want everybody to feel it, you want everybody to experience it. This is what God is, and every day with God, not to sound cliche, but every day with God is so sweeter than the day before because you learn something new every day. You learn something new about yourself. You learn something new about God. Your faith gets stronger. You love on God harder. And then it's hard to listen. It's hard for me to pull myself away from study. It's like I'm in there. I'm all in. It's hard for me to pull myself away from biblical study. Because it's these mysteries, golly, day and the morning. I'm going to tell you right now. These mysteries are unfolding right before my eyes. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. I don't even know what time it is. Let me check. Oh, heck no. I got to go. And I think I might hear them cats meowing. Me too. I can do it all day if I could. I'm telling you, is God is addictive. Good night, sweetie. I love you. Good night, everybody. Listen, God is so. I'm gonna say this one thing and then we shut down. Right? Shut this live stream down. I'm gonna leave it there. But God is amazing. Yes. I can't utter. I can't articulate because it's just too overwhelming. God overwhelms me on a constant basis. Yes, endless showers of blessings. Yes, I'm blissed out on a constant basis. I'm blessed and I'm blissed and I'm. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. I love you all very much. I wish you everything that I wish for myself. Peace, wholeness, everything wonderful and amazing that God will have you to experience and that your hands and your heart can hold. Guys, Bob Dole. Bob Dole means march to the beat of the drummer within you. See you guys later.